The setup for Parsec Marvel on AWS has been updated and optimized to the point that my last setup video is now outdated. The built-in netcode for Marvel is notoriously bad. Having a super high bandwidth cloud computer near you hosting the game with Parsec makes playing online feel a lot closer to offline. Hosting a server powerful enough to run games in the cloud costs money, and will typically cost about $1 an hour for the person hosting. Image storage will come out to around $1.50 a month. Before setting up Parsec in the cloud, you need to set up Parsec on your local computer. Download and install Parsec from parsec.app. All links will be left in the comments and description. After installing, a couple settings need to be changed in order to get the best experience. Click on the Settings button to the left, then make sure you have the Client tab selected. Set VSync to off, then under Decoder, set to anything but software. If you have an NVIDIA card, select NVIDIA, and if you have an AMD card, select AMD. If you're just trying to play on Parsec and not trying to host, these are the only settings you need to change. Have fun playing. One more setting needs to be changed on your local computer for the current cloud setup. Change immersive mode to keyboard. This is needed for alt-tabbing out of full-screen Marvel. Also, if you don't want people to try connecting to your local computer, disable hosting while you're here. Click on the Host tab, then make sure that hosting is set to disabled. After you've signed up for AWS and logged in, you need to increase your CPU core limit for whatever region you're trying to play in. AWS now lets you increase your core limit directly through the dashboard. The Support Center method still works, but will likely go away at some point, so I'll cover how to do it the new way. Click on the search bar up at the top and type in quotas. Click on Service Quotas and you will be brought to the Service Quota dashboard. Click on Amazon EC2. In the little search bar that says Find Quotas on the next page, type in Demand. Then click on Running On-Demand G Instances. On the Running On-Demand G Instances page, make sure that you're in the region you want to play in by clicking on the Region button and selecting the appropriate region. Once selected, click on Request Quota Increase. The instance type we use to play has 4 CPUs, so make sure your quota value is at least 4. If you want to run 2 servers at once, you would need your quota value to be 8. Click Request after putting in your desired value. It usually takes up to 24 hours for quota requests to get approved. Once your quota is approved, you're ready to launch a server. Pull up the NVIDIA Gaming PC AMI from the AWS Marketplace. Links will be in the comments and description. Subscribe to the image. It has no software costs, so you're only paying the standard 71¢ an hour price for a G4DN.X large instance. Once you accept the terms for the AMI, continue to Configuration. Under Region, select the region you wish to launch your server in. Then click Continue to Launch. Under Choose Action, select Launch through EC2, and then click on Launch. Your instance type will be pre-selected to G4DN.X large, which is what we want, so click on the Next button. On the Configure Instance Details page, set Auto Assign Public IP to Enable, then hit Next. The storage defaults are enough needed to run Marvel. Hit Next. Click Next on the Add Tags page. The Security Group page will have a couple rules set up. Delete any extra rules with the X button until there's only one left. On your one remaining rule, under Type, select RDP. Then, under Source, make sure My IP is selected. This rule is needed for you to connect to your instance with Remote Desktop. After you're done, click Review and Launch. On the Review page, there's a warning that your instance isn't eligible for free tier usage. This is not an error. AWS is telling you your server will cost money. The server has a base price of 71¢ an hour and incurs network traffic charges that come out to about $1 an hour when playing. If you are okay with this, click on Launch. Select Create a New Key Pair on the pop-up box that shows up. Name it whatever you want and then click Download Key Pair. Now select Choose an existing pair and select the key pair that you just downloaded. Check the box and click Launch Instance. Your instance should boot up if you've set everything up correctly. To connect to your instance, On the dashboard, click on Instances. Right-click on your instance and hit Connect. Click on the RDP Client tab, then click on Download Remote Desktop File. Once you have your RDP file, click Get Password. Launching from the NVIDIA AMI typically takes about 15 to 20 minutes before your password is able to be decrypted. Be patient. We are making an image that you can connect to in less than a minute. We only need to wait this long when making an image. When the password is ready to decrypt, the screen will look like this. Click on Browse and select the key pair that you created earlier. Decrypt and copy your password. Before connecting to your instance, save your RDP password somewhere that you can pull up easily. I paste mine into Notepad and save it as a text file. If you lose your password, you'll have to start over and make a new image. Once you have your password saved, you're ready to connect. Run the RDP file that you just downloaded, paste in your password, and connect. After the instance has booted up, open up Internet Explorer and hit OK to the first time setup box. This is needed for the Parsec script that we are about to run. Remote Desktop supports copy-paste from your computer to the cloud. Open up the Parsec Cloud Preparation tool in your browser, copy in the code that the page tells you to copy, then in the Remote Desktop, right-click on the Start button, and click on Windows PowerShell Admin. When PowerShell is open, do not left-click anywhere inside the blue area. It will mess up your setup. If you need to left-click to bring focus to the window, only do so from the top white border of the PowerShell window. Right-click in the blue area to paste in the script. Hit Enter after everything is loaded. The script will ask you if you want to log on to Windows automatically. Type N and hit Enter. Let the script do its thing. Don't touch it until after the Razer Surround Sound installer has finished installing. Once the Razer Sound installer is done, close out of it and sign into Parsec. Use the same Parsec account that you're signed into on your local computer. After signing into Parsec, click on the Settings button, then click on the Host tab. Under Host Name, enter whatever you want people to see when joining your cloud. Hit Enter after typing to save the changes. Then under Resolution, choose 1280 by 720. You can now close the Parsec window. We will be skipping the GPU updater since the AMI we just launched from already has the GPU drivers installed. Close the updater window, then restart the cloud computer. The cloud computer takes about 30 seconds to boot up again. Once you've waited long enough, open the RDP file again. Once you're connected, close out of the Remote Desktop. Make sure that Remote Desktop is no longer running. Having both Remote Desktop and Parsec open at the same time will cause issues. We will be connecting with Parsec for the next part of the setup. Open Parsec and connect to the cloud computer. Once connected, download and install Steam. If you want to run Marvel in full screen without all the problems Marvel's native full screen introduces, download and install Borderless Gaming. After installing Borderless Gaming, make sure that your options look like this. When signing into Steam, remember to tick Remember My Password. After signing in, download Marvel and run it after it's done downloading.
Capcom presents Marvel Comics.
Once Marvel has booted for the first time, exit out of the game and restart Steam in offline mode. This will make sure that the settings saved on your cloud computer are different from the settings in your Steam cloud save, along with a few more benefits. Run Marvel again while in offline mode.
Capcom presents Marvel Comics.
Open up the Borderless Gaming program and add Marvel to the favorites by clicking on it, then clicking the right arrow. Change the settings to whatever settings you want as the standard on your cloud setup. Here are the settings I use on mine. Once everything is set up how you like, exit the game and restart the cloud computer. Wait about 30 seconds again and connect back in. Right-click on the cloud desktop and make a new text document. Name it Activate. Paste in this script and save the file. Script and documentation will be in the comments and description. Once you've made sure the Activate text has saved, if you're not going to be launching multiple instances at once, skip to the timestamp shown on screen. If you are going to be launching multiple instances for a tournament or a multi-queue, launching from an image with Parsec already logged in will cause issues. Quit out of Parsec by right-clicking on it in the notification tray and selecting Quit. Right-click on the desktop and make a new folder. Name it something like Alt Parsec. Then right-click on the Start menu and click on Run. Type in %appdata% and hit Enter. The Parsec folder here contains our login information and host settings saved. We can create multiple login settings to use for multiple instances. The Parsec loader folder is not necessary. You can delete this folder. Now open up your Alt Parsec folder on your desktop. In this folder, make a new folder and name it whatever your first host name is. Open up your newly made folder. Now switch back to the App Data folder and drag and drop the Parsec folder to your newly created folder. Open up Parsec and you will no longer be logged in. Sign into the same account you've been signing into. Go to the host settings and name it whatever you want your second setup to be named. Don't forget to change the resolution to 1280 by 720. Once you've made sure the settings are properly saved, quit out of Parsec again. Make a new folder in your Alt Parsec folder. Name this one whatever you just named your second setup. Then drag and drop the Parsec folder from App Data to your new folder. Rinse and repeat for however many setups you need. Everything is now set up perfectly for you to make an image. Close out of the remote desktop and make your way back to the dashboard. On the Instances page of the dashboard, right-click on your instance and click Stop Instance. Wait for your instance to say that it has been stopped, like so. When your instance has completely stopped, right-click on your instance, hover over Image and Templates, and click on Create Image. The only thing you need to do on this page is type in your image name and click Create Image. On the Snapshots page of the dashboard, once your snapshot status says Fully Completed, your image will be available. Click on the AMIs page of the dashboard to confirm. After confirming that your image is available, go back to the Instances page and terminate your instance. Now that you have an image, you also need to know how to launch your image. Head over to the AMI's page on the dashboard, right-click on your image, and click on Launch. You will be brought to the Choose Your Instance Type page. When launching from a custom image, your instance type won't be auto-selected. Click on the filter box that says All Instance Families. Select G4DN. Then select G4DN.xlarge at the top of the page. Click on Next after confirming you have G4DN.xlarge selected. This page will be set like before. Select Enable under AutoSign Public IP, then click on Next. The storage defaults are fine again. Click on Next. Click Next on the Add Tags page. The Configure Security Group page needs to be set up like before. Make sure you only have one rule and set its type to RDP. Then under Source, make sure My IP is selected. Click on Review and Launch after. Click Launch on the review page. In the pop-up box, this time we'll be selecting Proceed without a key pair. Check the box and launch your instance. Go to the instance page, right-click on your instance, and click Connect. Go to the RDP Client tab, and download the remote desktop file. Since you already have your password saved, you don't have to wait 15 minutes for your password to decrypt. You should be able to RDP into the instance within a minute of launching it. Run the RDP file that you just downloaded, paste in your password, and connect. Once you've connected to your instance, open up your Activate text file on the desktop, highlight everything, and copy. Right-click on the Start button and open up Windows PowerShell Admin. Right-click in the blue area to paste in the Activate Windows script. Hit Enter once the last line shows up, and your Windows will activate shortly after. If you did not want to launch multiple instances, you are ready to close out of Remote Desktop, connect to Parsec, and play. Skip to the timestamp shown on screen. If you have multiple logins saved, your Parsec will not be signed in on image launch. Right-click on Parsec in the notification tray and quit out of Parsec. Open up the Alt Parsec folder on the desktop. Right-click on the Start button and click Run. %appdata% should already be entered in. Click OK. In the app data folder, delete the existing Parsec folder. Now, open up the folder that has the login settings you want to use for this instance. Then you can copy and paste or drag and drop the Parsec folder to the app data folder. You can open up Parsec after and you'll be signed in without needing an email confirmation. The host settings will be saved to whatever you had set from your folder. Now that you have Parsec running, you can exit out of the remote desktop and connect to Parsec. Make sure that remote desktop is no longer running. Having both remote desktop and Parsec open at the same time will cause issues. Whenever Steam prompts you, click on Start in Offline Mode to keep Steam in offline mode. When you open up Marvel, make sure you have a Parsec window open to Alt-Tab to. If you close all windows besides Marvel, you will not be able to Alt-Tab. When you have the game running, Alt-Tab to the Parsec window to let people in and kick people out. Whenever you are done playing, go back to the dashboard and terminate your instance. Running instances cost money. If you forget to terminate an instance and leave it running, AWS will charge you. Hopefully this video helped you get your own Cloud Parsec server running. If you need any help, I do try to reply to comments. But there is also a lovely Cloud Parsec Discord full of people who have gotten Cloud Parsec to run not only for Marvel, but for other games as well. Feel free to hop in. I'll have an invite link in the comments and description. The Cloud Parsec Discord has channels for setup questions, weekly events, general talk, and resources to up your Cloud Parsec knowledge. I stream Cloud Parsec lobbies for Marvel on my Twitch and YouTube regularly. Have fun and see you out there on the cloud.